What's up, guys? This is my review of The Magicians by Lev Grossman. This was supposed to go up yesterday, and when I say yesterday, I mean today, because it is still Sunday when I'm filming this, but it's so late that it makes no sense for me to post it. Before I get to my review, just some quick channel-y things. This season review of Beyond will not be going up on Monday or Tuesday, because the show airs on Monday. It won't be going up. Didn't watch it. So I'll watch the episode Monday, do my review, and then the next week is when I'll do my season review, hopefully. I couldn't bring myself to watch it this week. It didn't happen. I'm not going to try to sit here and marathon it all night either. So Sherlock will go up tomorrow after this video. So if you're looking for my Sherlock review, come back later. It'll be up later. It'll be scheduled to go up probably 3-ish Eastern Standard Time. So let's get on to The Magicians by Lev Grossman. I've recorded this video several times at this point. I've recorded my discussion video on that versus the show several times because I wasn't expecting the show to have such a profound influence on the book. I was expecting the book to be more foundational, just more exploratory. I was not expecting such vast differences. And I have to say that the last time I felt this conflicted between an adaptation was my review of The Devil Wears Prada. And I'm not going to link that review in the description bar below. It's still on my channel. You can find it if you want to. There's not that many videos to search through. I'm just not going to link it because it's such a low quality video that if you want to subject yourself to that, go watch it. I don't like that book. But I do like this book. And so I just want to make that very clear. It's not that I feel like it's the same as The Devil Wears Prada, where The Devil Wears Prada, the movie, was far superior. I feel that these exist on such totally different planes of existence that I couldn't discuss the changes because you have to read them separately. You have to intake them separately. You cannot compare the two. I feel like if you try to compare the two, that's when things start going downhill, especially for this book. I like the book a lot. I like it a really, really lot, which is why I was so upset with the changes that the show made. I'm gonna stop myself. The book is what we're talking about. The writing I thought was engaging. Again, I'm listening to the audiobook, so the actual text might be really boring. I did think that there was a weird pacing issue because we go through 5 years of magical education in like 200 pages, I would assume, because it's just the first part of the audiobook. So you go through 5 years of magical education, and then we're out in the real world, and then we're out in the real world for like 5 seconds until Penny comes back, and then that's when we get pushed into the filleriness of the whole novel. And I have to say that I felt like it was just super fucking rushed. Like, I felt that this book either needed to commit to the magical school that they wanted to go, that Lev wanted to make, or to go with the fucking fillery. And if I have to be honest, I would prefer he went with the fillery, because even though I really hate saying fillery, it's a word that I fucking hate, but I wish he would have gone there, because the whole antagonist, the whole like problem with the plot is that the beast is in fillery, but because he appears once at the school and then he's literally gone until the end when the resolution, the climax happens, it's just kind of weird. You would think like it's weird, and I understand I understand why the show wanted to push him more, because he just leaves. Like, he comes, he attacks the professor, and then he's kind of gone. Like, he's just gone. He's not a part of the story until like the last 50 pages, and then there he is. And I don't know if it's probably more than 50 pages. It was like 2.5 hours left on the audiobook then, I think. But it was weird. The pacing is weird. Like, this doesn't feel like a full book to me. It's not a whole story. Like, it's just not. Like, this book, I don't understand how it's standalone, because it feels like part of a larger thing. And this is 402 pages, according to Goodreads. 402 pages, and this book doesn't feel like a complete story. There's something wrong there. So on that end, I don't like it. But from a pure enjoyment standpoint, I gave it 4 stars because I was hooked the whole time through. The pacing problems, like I was really invested in Alice as a character, just like I was in Alice on the show. Alice continues to be the most compelling character there is. I feel like Quentin was more of a dick in the books, but he's also a lot younger. And I feel that part of him and his unlikableness is that he is like 17 years old, and he's very much in that stage of life where you're an unbearable teenager. Don't talk to me. You're going through that phase of life. And so for me, it was okay. Whereas in the show, not talking about the show, it was easier to forgive his character in the book because he was so young. I mean, at the end of the book, he's as old as I am. He's 21 at the end of the book, roughly. He's probably a little bit older, 22, 23. So but again, the trajectory of the character growth, I don't think is really there, because no one really their magic grows, but them as people don't. The characters you're introduced to at the beginning of the book are the same characters you have years later, which is the same problem I had with Hana Yanagihara's A Little Life. Like, you follow these characters for decades, and in that book, she chronicled all kinds of abuse and things that happened to them, but there was no real growth there. And that was like, she had a lot of time to play with. I mean, the time here is significantly shorter, but I still feel like no one really grows. There's no depth to the characters, really. They're not really fully fleshed out. But for some reason, I was still drawn to them. Maybe because I was projecting the show counterparts onto them, I don't know. But I just feel like there wasn't... take it back. The only one that I think grows is Alice. Alice grew as a character from this person who was meek and quiet and was obviously the brightest magician at the school, but she was still very I'm not going to show off, to this person at the end of the book where it was like, yes, Alice, get it. And I was walking down the street listening to the audiobook, making a damn fool of myself praising this character. Because there she was wailing on Quentin, and he needed it, because no one is calling him on his shit but Alice. I keep getting nervous that this blanket is going to fall and it's going to be fucked up. And I'll have to refilm. So I'm going to stop trying to touch it. But this book, I feel... there's a lot that leaves to be desired, and so far, 2 chapters into The Magician King, the second book in the trilogy, it picks up right off where this one leaves, and I feel like if he had axed the first half of this book, started with Manhattan, and went from there, it would be okay, because there is no depth, there's no real explanation of the magical system, the stuff that really happens there isn't really important, and you can tell that it's unimportant because they make it all crammed into the first year on the show. The show chronicles their first year at Brakebills, and it's all the stuff that happens in the course of their 5-year education happens in that first one. So none of that stuff is really of any consequence. It's just kind of, I feel like it's just a bunch of, we're just spinning in place. We're spinning in place, we're spinning in place, we're spinning in place. Okay, we're done with school, we're gonna go now. And I feel like trying to have the magical school and your Narnia comparison thing and your deconstruction just doesn't work. And he should have axed it. I also want to say before I go that Martin being sexually abused in the book was handled with such... it wasn't even handled. It was literally a discarded line. Just an off... oh, he was diddled as a child. And then she was gone. What the... this man he was destroying this magical place. He attacked people in our reality, or the magician's reality. He was the big bad of the book, and his whole motivation was literally a throwaway line after they had dealt with them. Wasn't here for it, not here for it on the show. I thought it was stupid there, and I thought it was stupid here. So the book, I would definitely... I'm hesitant to wholeheartedly recommend it. I stand by my enjoyment factor 4 stars. It's not the most literary thing in the universe, but I had a damn good time listening to it, so I'm just going to chill out with my 4 stars. If you're interested in reading the book, I say go for it. There are worse things you could do. If you're not interested, don't rush out. don't get it, you can just watch the show, even though I have major problems with the show after reading the book. I think you'll still have the same problems I do, even if you don't read the source material. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Hope you enjoy Sherlock later on. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys again sometime this week.